enjoying your solitude and spending time with yourself is the biggest form of self love. It might be even higher than discipline and consistency, y'all. And you'll know how much I love those. Hi, everyone. This is Sam Ragi. Today, we're going to talk about why it's important to date yourself and some of the ways you can start your self dating practice. If you're new here, we are on a journey to grow physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually this year. And I just wanted to, go on that theme of self love. If no one can 100% understand you, how can they give you that much love to a point that where you're 100% content? Only your love can make you happy. I understand having a relationship with God is very important. I'm a big believer of that too. But at the end of the day, God gave you this life, this ability, so that you can live it yourself. That's why I wanted to talk about the concept of self dating because it's so important to do things on your own to figure out what you like and what you don't like, what your internal values are and what your internal traumas are. We spend so much of our time and energy giving to others, which is also very important. Like, you have to serve, but at the end of the day, you cannot be serving from an empty cup. Like, you cannot be pouring from an empty cup. So, the same way happiness is multiplied when shared, but you have to fill your cup first. And once you're happy, you can then give it to others. It's the same with love. The more you love yourself, the more you'll have love to give to others. And at that point, it can only multiply. Versus if you're draining yourself and have this lag within you, how can you then give it to others? I am the love of my life, and I have to show up like that every day. It's very cliche, but you know how they say, make a list of whatever you want in your ideal partner and become that list? That's what you need to do. And self dating can get you there. When I started my healing journey during COVID, I made a promise to myself that I will always prioritize my needs, which is still a journey right now. I'm not perfect. However, these are some of the practices that I use even today to date myself. First and foremost, being affirmations. I am a big believer of morning affirmations or evening or night, whatever time you prefer, just making sure that you're telling yourself you're loved. I'm loved, I'm appreciated, I'm healthy. Just really putting it out to the universe, but also your subconscious mind, because repetition is how you're going to rewire your brain. And once you start saying those things, at some point, your brain will actually believe you. Like, I am amazed how powerful our brain is because a few years ago I was in the ER, thought I was going to die because of Crohn's, and not even like 2 3 years later, I am so good, living this amazing life. That was the hardest battle of my life, and looking back, I can tell you that my willpower and mental strength is the reason why I am where I am and why I am healed. If you can train your mind first thing in the morning or right before you go to sleep, it'll start believing the things that you tell the brain. And that's the concept of meditation too. Like, when you sit down and quiet your thoughts, you will start thinking and thinking, but at some point the thoughts will go away. And that's when you'll finally get to like see the internal side of you and, then realize like what's really going on. The second thing that I do is I like to reward myself for doing things that I don't like doing. That way I don't procrastinate. I am a huge procrastinator because I'm a perfectionist. So rather than, getting started, I just wait for that right moment, that perfect timing to get things done. And we all know how that goes. I think I read in Atomic Habits, which great book by the way, that you need to like habit stack. So always do something that you don't like and then immediately follow with something that you like or like a reward. So for example, I personally hate shopping. Like, don't like grocery shopping, don't like any kind of shopping. But I do like having new things. I do like having food. So right after shopping, I will just either go buy myself a good meal or I'll sit down, I'll dine in, and that will be kind of like my reward for the week or every 2 or 3 weeks whenever I do grocery shopping. Because, we're already constantly buying things. I'm not trying to say that you should use materialistic things to, train your brain, but if you're already doing it, rather than feeling guilty that you're spending money on yourself, why not actually say that I deserve it? Like, I'm spending money on me because I love myself. I love to take care of me. I love to, do good things for me because I deserve it, because I work hard. And kid you not, like it will actually make you work harder. It will actually make you appreciate the things that you buy for yourself. So just taking those small steps can really be beneficial. The third thing that I did was kind of make it so that I'm doing it for God and not really myself. This was really in the beginning where, I was still a people pleaser. I'm still recovering from that. But because I was so used to not doing things for myself, I looked at this as an act of devotion to God because the more time I spent with myself, the more free time I had to then spend with God. So, for example, I would never take rest days. Like I was constantly running around and doing things. I'm so busy. So whenever I have free time, I would just schedule it with friends and family. Again, important to have that community. But there were times where I felt so drained and I could see that I didn't have enough energy and I was still going. So at that time, what I did was rather than saying, okay, I'm gonna take the day and just like lay in the couch and not do anything, I just told myself, okay, I'm going to spend the whole day with God or universe, like whatever you believe in. Or maybe you're not there yet, so it can just be one friend or your partner, just one person that you want to spend it with. And slowly, slowly, you then train yourself to spend it with yourself. All the introverts are probably laughing at me when I say this, but it was very challenging. And of course, for me, I really love meditation, and I've been doing a lot of like breath work lately, which is a game changer. Like, I feel so much energized, so much in tune with my body because of that. And the fourth thing, which again, I struggle with, schedule rest. Actually schedule rest, sadness, anxiety, whatever you're feeling. It doesn't have to be like a strict routine that Sunday I'm going to be sad all day or something like that. But if you are going through a major life change and you know that you're going to be feeling certain kind of feelings before you go to bed, or you are going through a breakup, or you're mourning a loved one, give yourself that time every day. Maybe it's a couple minutes, maybe it's an hour, depending on the intensity and the free time you have. Schedule that time and feel it, like write it down, cry, do EFT tapping, somatic practices, whatever you need to do to process that, rather than running away and filling that void with partying and drinking and going out with people and just things that are not healthy. Again, guilty. I still do it. And I have done so much healing already. And I find myself running away and, chasing things to feel good, even though I know that I should be facing my feelings. But healing isn't linear, and I am learning. Okay, the fifth one is going to be a little bit controversial. So it's not just focusing on your physical well being and physical experiences, but also your mental health. So, investing on therapy or finding a hobby that you can kind of pour yourself into. I think we are sad and insecure not because we're not doing enough, because we're not doing things that we love enough. It's not me. I saw it on TikTok, but it's almost therapy at this point. And I struggled with that too. I'm a very self aware person. So I was diagnosing myself. So it didn't really help me, but it did help me get to a point where I knew what my triggers were and where my trauma was and how I was kind of coping with it. So it got me started, but then I had to kind of figure out my own way to deal with it. And of course, I am very lucky that I not only have a community, but my friends and family that support me. And plus, with spiritual practices, I get to like calm my mind. Breathing technique recently also has helped me a lot. But whatever you need to do to bring that focus back to you, because we spend majority of our life with ourselves. So the more you show yourself that love, the more secure you'll feel because you are the love of your life. Nothing else is more important than you are. And I know, as a woman and a recovering people pleaser, that might sound like selfish. But no, how is that selfish? You loving yourself enough to a point that you're so happy and content to be who you are, you can actually then give that love to others, the people that matter in your life. So nothing can actually shake you, no matter what goes on in your life. So let this be a sign to start dating yourself. Show up as the highest version of yourself. How many times you have looked back in life and you have said, "Ah, thank God I did that." This could be one of those things. Your future self will look back and thank you for this time. Live the life that you want to live. So if next time some of your friends are like, "Oh, I don't want to go do that thing," that's fine. You go do it on your own. It's not that deep. At the end of the day, we're all going through our own healing journey and we are all trying to support each other. Just because somebody else is hurting you and choosing to not understand you doesn't mean you have to do the same. Maybe their 100% is your 50%. So you have the capacity to give double. So do it. Give yourself that grace to become this authentic, loving person. Just because we live in a generation where being chill and being emotionless is cool doesn't mean you have to follow. I, for once, love that I am emotional, I'm caring, I'm sensitive, but I'm equally firm, I'm equally independent, I have boundaries. I know when to pursue something and I know when to let go. Do things that will take you so far in life because you need to fight for the things that you like. You need to fight for the things that you love. You need to fight for the people that you love. But at what cost should always be on the back of your mind, because I'll fight for a person until that it costing me my sanity, until it's costing me self-love. I can love you for the rest of my life and still choose to let you go because I choose my love, my self-respect over your lack of respect for my boundaries. So let this be your sign to practice self love through self dating. Take care. Bye.